Kyle Farmer was the only guy in the Rockies lineup that got hits. He had all three hits. Padres 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Padres put the game away in the fifth inning when they scored 6 runs. The floodgates open when Rockies catcher Hunter Goodman charged with catcher's interference while Jason Hayward is at play. Then he had a throwing error, and the Padres blew it up. Pavetta, fantastic. Another dominating performance. 7 innings, 3 hits, a walk, 10 punch-outs. Yuki Matsui came in, struck out the side. Alec Jacob threw a perfect ninth inning with a couple of punch-outs. I mean, bottom line, that bullpen, best in baseball right now. Padres starting pitching, been fantastic. And we're going to get into the starters for this series. I'll tell you this, with the Cubs coming to town, Cubs are playing great, and they put some runs on the board. This will be a very tough series for the Padres. And in contrast, it'll be a tough series for the Cubs as well. But we'll get to those pitching matchups a little bit later on. Friday night, Fernando, his third homer, a couple of runs scored, had 2 hits. Manny Machado, an RBI double in that first inning. Gavin Sheets, 2 for 3, a homer. Getting it done in a big way. Jose Iglesias, a couple of RBIs with 2 hits on Friday night. And Elias Diaz, a double and 2 RBIs. So that was Friday night. Padres won at 8-0. Then Saturday, Fernando led the game off. Bottom of the first, Padres ended up scoring a 2-0 victory. Fernando led off on that 3-2 pitch, drilled it over the center field wall, and then Jason Hayward hit his first of the year in the fifth. That was all the Padres needed. They actually were out hit by the Rockies that night, 4-3. Kyle Hart, 6 innings, 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts, fantastic. Lowered his ERA. It was over 11 going in. It came out at 5.40. Once again, the bullpen, Jeremiah Estrada an inning, Jason Adam an inning. Robert Suarez did give up his first 2 hits of the year, but he was able to get out of the 9th inning with his 7th save of the year. Offensively, Saturday night, not a whole lot. I mean, Fernando had the homer. Luis Arraez had a hit. Jason Hayward had a hit, and that was about all she wrote for the Padres offensively. And then yesterday, Michael King threw a 2-hitter. And I'm so glad that Mike Schilt let him finish the game. I mean, he could have come and got him. Once that one runner got on in the 9th inning, he could have, went and got him. But he looked at kind of where they're at on off days, and he let King finish. King yesterday ended up, throwing, I think, 110 pitches. 110 pitches, 69 strikes. And he was dealing. His strikeout numbers weren't, crazy yesterday. He had 8 yesterday, but he got his ERA down to 2.42. He came in at 4.05, and I'll be the first one to admit, he did not have a great spring training. And he thought he was throwing the ball better at the end of spring training, but the results weren't there. And I know spring training results, you can take them with a grain of salt, but, he wasn't really throwing the way we've seen him throw last year. And, even in his last start, he wasn't that sharp. Yesterday, it was Michael King of what we saw in 2024. Now, I had somebody bring up a question, what about Michael King next year? Well, I can tell you this. Michael King is making just under $8 million this year. He worked out that mutual option with the Padres before the season started for $15 million. Now, I got news for you. There's no way he would accept that for next year unless he got hurt and was coming off an injury. Because not only is it a mutual option for $15 million, there's a buyout. Now, think about this. I don't know why teams do this. I guess just try to get a guy under contract and at least get a draft pick for him if he leaves. But if Michael King, doesn't want to pick up his part of the mutual option after this year, check this out. He gets $3.75 million to say, no, I don't want to pitch for the Padres. Now, he could also opt out, renegotiate with the Padres. He'd still get his $3.75 million. He could sign a long-term contract. But the way yesterday went, and that was big. I mean, I was watching Sunday Night Baseball last night, and I was listening to David Cohn, the longtime New York Met, Kansas City Royal, and New York Yankee. And when they brought up, Carl Ravitch brought up that King threw a complete game 2-hitter, David Cohn goes, get the baseball and put it on the mantle. That doesn't happen very often. And for Michael King, he was working as a starter a little bit with the Yankees out of the bullpen. I mean, yesterday, that was his first complete game of his career. And now he's 3-0 and dropped the ERA down to 2.42. So, I mean, the way he pitched yesterday, I don't expect him to do that every game, but that was a hell of an effort yesterday. And the Padres won the game 6-0. They out hit him 11-2. Somebody, Buddy Black's a real good personal friend of mine. And I had a couple of people text me last night. They go, "You think Buddy's going to last there?" Well, a couple of things. Watching that series, he doesn't have a lot. I mean, he only got a few guys that can really play, and you got a lot of guys trying to learn to play at the big league level. They're not going to ever get out of last place the way these other teams are playing. And they've been in last place. Last couple of years, they've lost, 100 plus games. And they're definitely on their way to do that again. And a couple of people texted me last night that know Buddy and know me and go, "Do you think he's going to last?" I go, "Well, a couple of things. Number one, they love Buddy Black in Colorado. The ownership group loves him. And it's really not his fault. I mean, the bottom line, everybody in baseball knows it's not Buddy Black's fault. Buddy Black's a damn good manager and great baseball man. But at some point in time, you may have to make a change. Even though it's not Buddy's fault, you may need to at least send to your fan base, we're trying here." But man, they got a lot of problems there with Colorado. They got a beautiful ballpark. There's a lot of good things about the Rockies, but it sure isn't on the field right now. I don't know if you've ever been to Coors Field. I've been there a few different times. Really fun ballpark. The fans come out, they come from all over to watch the Rockies play. And it's kind of sad that they're as bad as they are. But Padres did what they needed to do. They shut them out 3 games in a row. And I guarantee you when they go to Coors Field later in the year, the Rockies will be ready to play. Their young guys will get better. They'll continue to work and toil. But it was a rough weekend all the way around. But, I want to take a look at the 3 pitchers that threw over the weekend and just kind of go through their games individually. Nick Pivetta improved to 2-1, 1.59 ERA. Coming off, as I mentioned, that really bad start at Wrigley Field where they only lasted 3 innings. It really didn't have a whole lot. Friday night, he went out there, 7 innings, 3 hits, a walk, 10 punch-outs, 88 pitches. That's a hell of an effort. 62 strikes, pounding the strike zone. Padres win 8-0. Just stay healthy. He threw great. And Elias Diaz doing a great job behind the plate, both on Friday and Sunday, catching the shutouts. Then Saturday. Now, Kyle Hart had to go to the mound with a lot of pressure on him. He lasted 2/3 of an inning last time out and gave up 5 earned runs at Wrigley Field. Couldn't get out of the first inning. But he went out there the other night and did a great job of mixing, matching, getting ahead, working ahead in the count through 74 pitches, 49 strikes, 6 innings, 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Goes to 2-0. Drops that ERA from over 11 down to 5.40. That was great. And you know what? I think the more he's out there, the better he's going to get. And I'm not saying he's going to win, 15 games this year, but he's a 5th starter. And he's 2-0 right now. And, he's had some good starts and he's had, a clunker, a real clunker. But nonetheless, he's a 5th starter. We're not asking him to be Sandy Koufax. And then yesterday, Michael King, complete game, 2-hit shutout. What more could a guy want? And again, I go back to Mike Schultz. Very happy that he allowed King to finish that ball game. 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. 3-0, 2.42. So good stuff right there.